I'm from New Jersey. We only had one TV. We used to see Dr. J, Magic, no, he was mad. So, you know, as you can see, he's a sharp brother. So he walked up to me, you know who I am, brother? I said, no, sir. I'm Spencer Haywood. I paved the way for you. I was like, okay, brother, I understand. So thank you, Mr. Haywood.
That's funny, right? Shaq's classic, right?
Classic, man. He, you know, that particular statement, he taught me how to loosen up because I was
so serious,
forcing it on young guys. I was like, you know, would you tell the story right now? And that's not the way to do it. And he he just lit me up with that. And another comedian brother I know, Smiley Joe Wiley, he was telling me, look, you can't be like that serious about this. Let them walk into it.
Right. You know, because you know, you got to understand you're a lot of people. That's first off, and it's a lot of respect. Yeah. People might not know the face, but they definitely know the name. You know?
Right.
Your story is impeccable. Not only that, it's impactful.
Yeah.
And all young players that understand, especially the ones that have come from high school, if they don't know your story, you know, I'll be honest with you, when Turner brought me this idea, we sat, and the first thing I said to Tara is that one of the guests I want to have on here is Mr. Haywood, because he paved the way for all players to be able to have an option to come out early and fought for it when it wasn't an option. So, you know, I wanted to have you on here. Obviously, I'm glad for you to be here, but more importantly, to tell your story and to get it out there for people to understand.
Oh, thank you. And it's important that we know the story a little bit because, you know, when I fought this case to the Supreme Court, I left college early. And being the first youth to leave college early, I signed with the Seattle Supersonics, and I was getting ready to play, and lo and behold, they slammed me with an injunction.
And this is 1970, right?
Yeah, this is 1970. I was slammed with an injunction that read, look, I mean, we got a 10-day stay. You have to sit at home. And I had 10 days I had to sit at home and swallow my pride and wonder what's going on. And then my team of attorneys filed suit for me to play.
So this is going back and forth,
back and forth. So then, for a complete year.
Wow.
And then when I filed suit to play, then I got on the floor and the team, Chicago Bulls, walked off the floor and there would be no game tonight. And the announcer came on and said, there would be no game tonight because we got an illegal player on the floor.
Oh my God, he actually said that?
Yes. And that went on for a year. And at some particular time in the game, during that year, I was served with an injunction and they would let me get out on the floor, and when I would get ready to jump, they would say, ladies and gentlemen, we got an illegal player on the floor and we got an injunction against him tonight.
So it's trying to embarrass you.
And this injunction, I had to walk me off the floor, and then they would say, well, you know, the injunction read that he cannot be on the grounds in which this arena is set on. So they put me out into the snow. And I was 20 years old, you know.
Wow. How was you reacting to all this? Were you angry?
No, because I was brought up down south. Okay. I was brought up in Mississippi, and I had, you know, my high school years was in Detroit, so I knew that there was some kind of revolution going on, and I was a part of it all. And I thought I was doing something special, and my mother had told me that I was doing something special, but even more so, my mother was still picking cotton in Mississippi for $2 a day. My whole family was. We were sharecroppers. So I was fighting to get my mother off of her knees.
So you had a bigger issue, not just basketball.
I had a bigger issue than the whole process. I just wanted to get my family out of poverty, and this was the first chance that I had.
I'm from South Carolina. I definitely understand country life and what that means.
Yes.
Just tell me about, you know, the options now with our players now, not having the option to obviously come out with. I mean, how do you see it? I want to hear your views on it.
Well, my views on it now, if you say a guy should leave high school or he should go into the pros now, I think you should have that option because you have that same option in hockey.
Right.
You have it in golf, you have it in baseball, you have it in tennis, and in fact, young players are taunted as something, a phenom, and they're special.
Absolutely.
So why would you have it in the two revenue sports for universities, which is basketball and football?
Why do you think that?
Because of the money, the revenue the revenue that it bring, because it wasn't the NBA that I was fighting so tough. It was the NC2A who had this big fear that I was taking revenue and that I was going to destroy their revenue stream for the colleges for 4 years. Because before I came along, they had you for 4 years,
right.
And with that 4 years, they could collect a lot of money and making a lot of coaches, making a lot of cities rich that those teams located in, like say Tuscaloosa, Alabama, and all those schools. So they were making a lot of money, and so that was that big fear that this guy is going to destroy college basketball as we know it. And now, the year before, I was the outstanding college player of the year.
Are you serious?
Yes. I'm like, well, gosh, guys, come on.
And
it still goes on today, Kik.
It's not basketball. It's corporation. And we got to always remember that it's going to be business first before
business
anything.
First.
It's unfortunate, man. We get right into the story. Area 21, we
Thank
got
you
the great
joining me,
Mr. Haywood in here, dog. We getting it today. It's super lit. Skirt, skirt, skirt. Right.